It's owned by Freddie Mac. Fannie Mae. Still foreclosure. Okay.
Them from getting it sold.
I'll call regular city council meeting Monday, April 4, 2016 to order. Clerk, call roll, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf. Lukosius. Radke.
Here.
Mueller. Sapienza. Payton. Mayor Harrell.
Here, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any presentations?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, do I have a motion to receive the proclamation for abate, place on file?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to receive the proclamation and place on file. Whereas safety is the highest priority for the highways and streets of our city and state, therefore I, Scott Harrell, the Mayor of the City of Peru, in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 30 years of abate of Illinois Incorporated and over 650,000 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role Illinois serves as a leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness, do hereby proclaim the month of May this year, 2016, as Motorcycle Awareness Month. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thanks for coming. Okay, do we have any public comment?
No cards, Your Honor.
We have a motion to receive the minutes placed on file.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to receive the minutes placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. This is something. Okay, do we have a motion to receive the reports and place on file?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to receive the reports and place on file. Is there any discussion?
I just note that the general fund had revenue over expenditure of $212,210.41 for February.
I'd like to make a note that the electric department, electric light fund for the month of February showed revenues over expenditures by $98,187.56.
I would also note that the revenue expense report for the water and sewer fund shows revenues under expenses of $25,748.30.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. If there's no more discussion, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Do we have a motion to receive the activity reports and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
Have a motion and a second to receive the activity reports and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Committee, Finance Safety Services, Chairman Putoff.
Alderman Radke.
Yes, Your Honor. First thing are disbursements. Total disbursements for April 4, 2016 are $1,565,577.99. I move that this be received, placed on file, and the bills paid in the usual manner.
Second, Your Honor.
We have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Ferrari to receive the disbursements, place on file, and pay the bills in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Aye.
Mayor Harrell.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion tonight to approve the expenses for the Economic Development Director, Bob Vickery, to attend the International Council of Shopping Centers on May 22nd till 25th. We found that his attendance last year paid off. It certainly helped from a retail standpoint from the City of Peru. We have some contacts scheduled, and particularly one of interest is with the mall ownership. And in continuing to grasp as much retail as possible, our committee felt it was beneficial that he does attend that. So I'll make a motion to do that tonight.
I'll
All right.
second.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Payton, to approve expenses for Economic Development Director Bob Vickery. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve $1,000 donation to the Better Fishing Association for the Kids Fishing Expo at Baker Lake on May 21st.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Waldorf, to approve a $1,000 donation to the Better Fishing Association. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Did you have something? Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the quote from Foster and Foster for the GASB 67 in the amount of $3,000 and the GASB 68 in the amount of $3,000.
Second.
3 and 3.
Yeah, that's correct, it's 3,000, so basically, both mandated by, the GASB to go ahead and actually have 2 reports done, each by the police pension and the fire pension, so 4 total reports, and so they'll do that for 3,000 apiece, and that will total $6,000. We worked with Foster and Foster last year, they did an excellent job, so looking forward to, getting that completed again. GASB 68 is new this year, and, we'll definitely, have a lot more to talk about on that when we get closer to the report date.
I'm sure it will be riveting to hear about the financial position of the unfunded liabilities of our pension funds.
It always is.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Payton. We don't have a second yet.
I have a second on that.
Second by Alderman Putoff. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius. Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, also in the finance meeting, at the last meeting, we had a very detailed review of the final budget, and it was reviewed, detailed, and looked over extensively. It should be in its form to approve at the City Council at the next meeting, so we will take a review of it. It's important to note that the balanced budget, and it includes revenues of a little over $14 million with expenses of about $13.8 million. 75% approved budget comes from sales tax. No levy funds are used for day-to-day operations. Most of our levies go to pension obligations, so we wanted to point that out. So that will be more detailed at the next meeting, but preliminary, it looks like the City Council will present a balanced budget for the residents.
Okay, there was discussion on an electric department vehicle. What was that? What was the discussion?
At the finance meeting?
Right.
I don't believe we approved
No.
Well,
What we talked about is that we were gonna look at those, meter cards, the meter readers, we were gonna look at them, what we ended up doing.
well, there was a truck. What was,
Well, there was some discussion in regard to a line truck.
right,
And I think the reason it was brought up now is that, there's just such a lead time that you have to have for construction of these trucks. It's about 18 months. I think that's the reason it was, the topic was broached at this point.
are we going to approve one and order one? Does everybody know what it is
No,
and
because
why?
We haven't gotten to that point yet. It was just brought up that Kai had made a request, based on, the condition of some of the vehicles.
Right.
We're going to review it in a little more detail in the upcoming meetings.
Okay. Anything else from finance?
That's all.
Public Services, Chairman Waldorf?
Yes, sir, thank you. At this point, I would make a motion to award the ground storage tank painting to the lowest responsible bidder. The award of the base bid includes complete removal of the lead paint.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, a second by Alderman Lukosius.
We need to note the contractor and the amount for the record.
Clerk Bartley,
In this case, the contractor that we will be awarding to the base bid is Amcoat Painting of Homer Glen, Illinois, and the amount is $358,900. And I'm going to let Attorney Schweigert address his memo to everybody in regards to the lowest responsible bidder.
As you know, there were 10 bids for the project. The lowest bid was LC United out of Sterling Heights, Michigan, at $342,000 or $16,900 less. But here's the lowest responsible bid to be awarded. So we were asked to give our opinion on that matter, and we didn't believe that LC United was the lowest responsible bidder for the following reasons. One, the Illinois Secretary of State revoked the status of LC United Painting Co. on January 14, 2011. The legal effect of that is that that company is not authorized to do business in the state of Illinois, probably for failure to submit its annual filing fee to be authorized state. So I think legally on that point alone, it would not be a responsible bidder. Also, the city's own responsible bid ordinance provides that any bidder must comply with all applicable prerequisite to doing business in the state of Illinois. Well, they're not authorized to do business in the state of Illinois, so they obviously would not meet the requirements of the responsible bid statute and our own ordinance. Secondly, and also very troublesome, this particular company, with the research of the OSHA records, shows it has had 7 different investigations over the last 5 years and has pending penalties before OSHA of $181,720, including a death. So they weren't using those allegations, proper safety standards for fall protection. Third, although 6 of the 10 bids are out of state, but we doubt whether or not they would comply with having 90% Illinois laborers as required under the Illinois Workers Public Works Act. And finally, I really think you'd be getting into potential problems under the Illinois Prevailing Wage Act with this company, just from what we've been reading as far as the OSHA violations and otherwise on the internet. But just for reason number 1, that would be sufficient authority to reject that bid.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the purchase of a new hydroelectric plant surveillance system, cameras for the CDW-G in the amount of $18,735.
Second, Your Honor.
And this is to upgrade. We still have an old analog system out there at the hydro plant, and this would give us much better surveillance and capabilities to review this thing remotely at all hours of the day. So I'd like to make that motion. Doug, do you have anything to add on this?
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf, to approve the purchase of hydroelectric surveillance system. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Also tonight, Your Honor, we have a motion to approve a proposal from Environmental Design International, Inc., EDI, to perform underground soil sampling at the Marathon Gas Station located at 2130 4th Street in the amount of $7,500 plus $155 per sample with a quantity of 4 samples. I believe this is on the agenda because we have some court dates and things going on that we really need to comply with these soil samples.
Correct. And just to add to that, this property is the Marathon gas station down here on 4th Street. In the interest of preventing blight and eliminating blight from the city, we initiated litigation to try to obtain a judicial deed to the property through the legal system using our municipal powers, similar to what we did with the Econo Lodge last year. This property was abandoned by its owner. When he left the property, he didn't properly empty the gas storage tanks, underground storage tanks. The Illinois Office of the State Fire Marshal, they brought litigation against the owner. He avoided a lot of service with them and us, but eventually assessed over $500,000 in fines against this gentleman and his company. So the current status is that the Marathon gas station's been abandoned, and there's at least 1.5 inches plus of fuel in the 4 underground storage tanks that are single-walled and were installed in the late 80s. We initiated the litigation and had the property declared abandoned, and we are set to obtain a judicial deed to the property at our next court date. And in the interest of making sure the city has reduced or limited exposure when we do this, we went ahead and we want to get some testing done to see if there has been a leak from one of these storage tanks, to see if fuel has leaked into the soil. If it has, then we will be prepared to get access to the Leaking Underground Storage Tank Fund, which is a state fund that reimburses remediation of leaking underground storage tanks. All we, as the city, have to do is pay a $10,000 deductible, and then all the expenses are paid through the fund. With this, if there's no leak, then the city's in a better position than having to pay the $10,000 for the deductible. Otherwise, the testing itself, the $10,000 deductible can be retroactive, so this payment for the testing can be included in that, and it wouldn't be in addition to this amount. So this testing is just to give us an idea of what's going on under the property and to be prepared for when we do take possession of the property.
I also think it's important to have it done because of the proximity to a residential area. I definitely think that's probably the most important issue to deal with.
Sure.
Okay, I don't have a second. I have a motion from Alderman. Okay, we have a motion from Alderman Mueller, a second from Alderman Waldorf to approve the proposal from EDI to perform underground soil samples. Is there any more discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved. Anything further, public services?
No, sir, thank you.
Report to city attorney, ordinances, resolutions.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I have an ordinance authorizing acceptance of a water main easement from American Nickeloid Company for Market Street water main improvements.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved.
Next, I have an ordinance authorizing acceptance of water main easement from CHS Inc. for Market Street water main improvements.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion from Alderman Putoff, second from Alderman Lukosius, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Oldorf. Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller. Sapienza. Peyton.
Motion approved.
Next, I have an ordinance adopting City of Peru net metering and interconnection policies. And this has to do with the increase of renewable energy resources and the desire of a lot of private individuals to have those put in on their properties. And so they are policies and procedures that are put in place to ensure that when those are connected to the city's utility electric grid, that it's done so safely and properly.
I'll make a motion that we accept this ordinance.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion from Alderman Lukosius, second from Alderman Waldorf, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
So is this something that the agency looks at before we approve, or is there anything with the agency that we're allowed or not allowed to do?
No, the agency has given us guidance in formulating the actual ordinance and how it's written, but this is something that, with the proliferation of photovoltaic cells and things, we just have to have something in place to enable the residents to have the type of metering so that if they are producing electricity, that we can actually limit on how much they can produce, whether we have to buy it back from them or not. So that's one of the reasons when net metering is obviously a need that we're going to have to fulfill. So that's the reason for this.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller. Sapienza. Peyton.
Motion approved.
Finally, I have an ordinance amending provisions of the City of Peru Code of Ordinances, zoning ordinance, and subdivision ordinance relating to the combination of the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals. What this is, we previously had the Plan Commission and the Zoning Board handle advisory roles for approving property matters to the City Council. The Plan Commission really kind of provided some advisory services for the subdivision ordinance, and the Zoning Board did the zoning ordinance. Under the state statutes, though, the planning commissions are really there to establish a overall comprehensive plan and to make sure that any developments within the city fall within that official comprehensive plan. So it kind of fell outside of what a plan commission typically does. So what we did is combine all of the property and land-related advisement services from these committees into one single 7-person committee, who happens to be also the same group of people that will handle appeals as the Zoning Board of Appeals. And so it's a lot more efficient this way, and there's a lot less confusion when it comes to policies and procedures for citizens under the code.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second, do we have a second? Any discussion?
I think one of the points that needs to be conveyed is it's more of development friendly, where if you're a resident or a business owner, you want to place development in the city of Peru, you save time by going to one committee or one group to take care of all your questions, where in the past you've gone to several different groups, which is costly and time consuming, and I think that's probably the best part of the ordinance.
I do have a question. Is this the final, draft of this? I noticed in our packet, we've still got a lot of,
Yeah, it is a red line version because it's showing the actual changes that will be made to the Code of Ordinances. So although that's typically when you see documents that are being drafted and corrections being made, that just indicates the actual words, the additions and deletions that will be made to the actual code.
And the only question I had on section 2, on section 1-2, on definition of building inspector. The term building inspector shall mean the city engineer and or any person appointed by the city council, and the zoning administrator shall be the city engineer. I just had a question because that's not what was in the minutes of the planning and zoning minutes.
Yeah, and when I had met with the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals, they had some concerns or suggestions with respect to references to the zoning administrator and the building inspector in certain sections that were affected by the combination of these two entities. And the definition of who the zoning administrator and the building inspector are, there's not an overall definition that's actually in the code at the present moment. So they thought it would be a good idea to provide, to change building inspector to, was it building inspector / city engineer. And I had told them, that would go beyond the scope of this ordinance for the most part, wherein that we'd be changing every section that has building inspector or zoning administrator referenced in that section, and not just the sections that we are changing for the purposes of this ordinance and the combination of those two entities. So it was my suggestion to make a overall global definition of building inspector or zoning administrator in the beginning of the Code of Ordinances, and to provide a definition of that as shall mean the city engineer or any person designated or any person appointed by the city council. Because also there were certain sections in the code where jobs typically handled by Mr. King were referenced as zoning administrator, and vice versa for Mr. Carls as building inspector. So, these guys kind of share similar but separate tasks, and I believe that this definition globally encompasses who the city has in charge of those duties.
Anybody else? Anything? No questions? Okay, have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Wakoshius.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza. Payton.
Motion approved. Any further ordinances, resolutions?
That's all I have.
Anything from your desk? For any resolutions or anything?
Nothing further there, Your Honor.
Okay, new business, wait a second. Unfinished business, do we have any unfinished business?
I do have one question, and this could probably from Jim Clenard. Jim, do you know where you're at with the FEMA analysis with the floodplain 13th, 14th Street?
This Wednesday, I have a meeting with the consultants to again review the modeling. We had a meeting about a week and a half back. We're planning another town hall meeting at the end of the month. We haven't set that date and time, but we are almost complete with the modeling phase of that and getting ready for submission to FEMA. So at the end of the month, 40%, 30%? Complete with the modeling? 90%. 90% complete with the modeling. I would say just small little tweaks that need to be made, and then we'll have a town hall meeting with some large maps showing the outline of what we believe the base flood elevation to be.
Thank you.
Do we have that similar information for the Sunset Drive? Or is that information not been developed?
We do have some information for Sunset Drive on Sunset Drive on a study that was done. I can't remember the date. I don't know if you know the date on that one, Jim, at all. but there is a base flood elevation that is established in that area. I do have a copy of it in my office that I can share.
Anything else under unfinished? New business, any new business? Petitions, communications?
Yes, Your Honor, I just have one communication from Evangelist Michael J. Hubbard requesting permission to use Centennial Park for a 2-day revival on June 9th and June 10th.
Yeah.
I think he comes every year and asks.
He's from Rock Falls.
I think we had a conflict, didn't we, last year?
He was accommodating last year. He did change his dates this year. His letter says, "We are taking back the city revivals. Higher Ground Ministries International held a 2-day revival last year at the North Shelter, and we would like to come back this year, Thursday and Friday, the 9th and the 10th. 4 p.m. to dusk each day, with rain dates of June 11th and June 12th. We prefer the southeast shelter in the bottom of the hill at this time, as easier parking also advised than any other activities at Centennial Park on these dates do not interfere with this. This request must go before the council for approval, so please put me on the agenda for Monday, April the 4th.
Okay.
Well, I move that we grant permission provided the dates are okay and that they comply with all the rules of the park.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second? Okay, we have a motion, a second for the communication from Evangelist Michael Hubbard to place on file and grant permission to use the park for a 2-day revival, June 9th, June 10th, and 11th and 12th for inclement weather. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved.
No further communications, Your Honor.
Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Anybody? Okay, no public comment. Closed session, anybody? Motion for adjournment?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second? Have a motion by Alderman Farley, second by Alderman Payton. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Becky, going or no? Where? Yeah, me too. Stay clear on it. Chris.
Who did?